What's going on? My friends, my foes, and
Who knows?
who knows? This is the 502 coming at you. Once again, we got stuff to talk about. Today, folks, we are talking about small town versus big town. Yes.
The hee-haws.
The livelihood of both of them. Let's start with Mr. Priegnitz over there, Mr. Smaller of the three, right? What's the population of Brookings, Jared?
With the college, about 25,000 or so.
Yep. Okay, so, Bo, what do you got in Tracy?
With the college, it's about 2,000 still.
Okay.
right around, a little over 2,000. So yeah, I was in Tracy from pretty much birth till freshman year, so I didn't finish high school, but I kind of like the small town feel. That's why I came back to Marshall. It's why I came back to Southwest Minnesota from Colorado. A lot of people, what they don't like about the small town thing is everybody's in everybody's business. You know everything. You know, you go to DQ and the old guy there will be like, "Oh, hey, you got a game tonight. Good luck." And you're like, "Oh crap, yeah, I forgot I had a game tonight." You know, it's stuff like that which I like.
Right.
I don't mind other people knowing my stuff. Guess I'm not that private of a guy where I take like that much importance in needing my privacy. You know, it's a little, every class you got the same people, same teachers. At Tracy, there's 2 hallways that connect the whole high school.
Yep.
You're not going to get lost. So, which I kind of like. I like that. And there's some about definitely the sports too. The sports of small town is just different.
Absolutely.
We weren't quite to the extent like the movies are, where like the whole town shuts down and everybody, you know, on the windows it says,
but
closed for the football game. But I mean, to an extent, it was kind of like that. Like everybody shows out because what else are you gonna do on a Friday night? Then go to the football game, even if you don't like football.
It's what you do. Yeah.
And that part I love. Whereas when I moved to Evergreen and it's a little bigger, there's a lot of separation, and I had a graduating class a little over 200. I mean, there were people I didn't even know at my graduation. I've never seen before, and I wasn't really a fan of that. So
Sure. What would have been your graduating in Tracy?
Right around 20, 30 people probably.
You guys just all mingle around to the same classroom between passing time?
Oh yeah. I mean, everybody's got the same schedule. The other thing that I find funny is in small towns, it's so common that everybody does everything. Whereas at a big school, you'll play sports and maybe you do like band or something on the side too.
Maybe.
But that's a big time commitment to do both. Small town, you literally do everything.
If you don't play 3 sports in a small town,
you're kind of
something.
It's the deal. It's the deal of all your buddies, all your friends are playing whatever sport is that year. So what are you going? You're going home to do nothing,
right?
Because all your friends they're either in sports, they're in band, they're in choir, they're in FFA, they're in literally whatever it is, and everybody just always is doing something.
Right.
Type of deal. So, which I like.
Yeah.
I like that small town. But I know, so Brookings, you would be like the middle. You're kind of the middle class of sizes.
Well, yeah. I mean, now the class sizes are bigger in Brookings, but yeah, my class when I graduated in 2015, we were right at 212. And I remember that because GPA-wise, I was 106, and I'm like, 50%, baby!
Nice.
And
wow.
I mean,
I'm amazed by that.
Yeah, it's a tribute to my school because I had a 3.3 GPA, so everybody above me, the top 30 people were all 4.0. We had a few Harvard people or Stanford or something like that, but
were you guys,
I was my mission in high school was to have fun.
Were you guys a blue ribbon?
Study.
Were you a blue ribbon school? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, NHS or what?
No, blue ribbon school it's awarded by, I don't even know who hands it out, but it's top 25 school in the country.
No.
So Evergreen, where I went to, was a blue ribbon school like year after year, so I can relate to that. I had a 3.0. I think we had 225 in my graduating class. I was 186 with a 3.0.
Yeah.
Like one of the worst ones in my class.
Yeah, I fully expected to like look at the sheet and be like, oh, I'll probably be somewhere in like the 60 range. And then I like looked at my GPA and like where I was, and I'm like, damn, we got some nerds in this school. But I mean, I can count the number of times on my hand how many times I ever studied for a test, high school or college. I'm like, I'm not. I ain't about that. I'm not trying to study. I lose my concentration after 15 minutes.
You're a bit more of a. He's a bit more of a naturally gifted student with that kind of stuff.
I agree.
You know.
Yeah.
Don't you know a ton of people who don't study anything? We study our ass off.
Absolutely.
We get a bad grade. They get a great grade, and they're flaunting their test around the class like, oh, dang, I got a 91. I guess I missed that question.
Yeah.
Please. Don't do that.
I am not like that. So you
no, you're not to that.
No,
but you are
naturally.
naturally pretty. It doesn't take much, and you can do.
I can grasp onto concepts, but I'm not divulging into them unless I
Right.
can.
Right. Yeah.
And I like, if you understand the basic concepts in class, they can be pretty easy for you, where you just pay attention in
For you.
lectures. Yeah,
This is what me and Andy are. So like, what we're saying is, we're not saying that you like, go full force and you're just school. We're saying if you don't study and don't do well, like don't focus, you can easily get a C. Easy.
Oh yeah.
If me and Andy don't focus and study,
We're in trouble.
I
But
mean,
the thing
you're
is-
gonna see an ugly
Well,
score.
do you ever
Because we study hard and still get.
do you ever
Sometimes.
It depends on the class. I'm talking about the hard classes, not
ever-
the whatever class.
Do you ever skip assignments? Like, do you not turn in
All the
some
time.
assignments just because you don't want to do it?
All
That's
the
why,
time.
for the first time in my academic career, high school, college, anything, I didn't turn in a paper outline. That was
told me
the
that.
first assignment in my whole career that I had not turned in
And that's
on time.
incredible.
That's
I just have, I mean, discipline's a big thing. Like, A's on homework is easy to get, and that's why I do that, so I can allow myself to get
Yeah.
like a C, like 75 to an 80%, and still like be a high B or a low A average.
Yep.
I don't know. I just kind
What
of figured
was,
out the system.
what was being at a. Well, I'll ask both because I wasn't at a school, so I'll probably go to you.
Yeah.
Being at a school that big was academics at a bigger school like a big push and focus, or was it kind of whatever people think was?
Yeah. So, those listeners who don't know, I come from a big school, graduated with just shy of 900 people.
Couldn't imagine.
To answer that, at my school, it was very pushed for the academic side of things. Very prestigious, a lot of really good students. I mean, it was, it's a pretty high income area, pretty wealthy, and there was a lot of pressure, I think.
You're not
for
a
lot of
private
people.
private school,
No,
are you?
no.
Okay.
It's public.
Okay.
I'll say though, like, being from a bigger city and then living here during the school year, it's interesting to see the differences, and we've talked about this, quite a bit. And you touched on that small town charm, and it's something that I felt I kind of missed out on a bit being in a big city. But now that I'm 22 now, and I can look back on those times, I'm very glad where I grew up, because it provided me with the experiences, the opportunities that I wouldn't really trade for anything, especially from an athletic standpoint, competing in a much bigger city, bigger area. But it's cool to go back and forth and see the different dynamics that exist between a big city and a smaller town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The friendly neighbor kind of stuff.
Yeah, the drastic difference between Tracy and Minnetonka. But, like, Brookings was weird, man. Like, so we're a town of 25,000, and I don't even know how big the high school was. Maybe, like, 1,500 kids at the most. but like we still had like the feel of a small town because like Brookings is just like a little square, and then right outside of that, it's all rural.
Right.
It's all farms. It's all, all of that type of stuff. So like it was weird for us because we could go hunt and be all like backroads boy.
Yeah.
And then Saturday night we could go
Be city
out on
boys.
the town and be like city boys. So like it was really
Kind of a perfect
weird.
blend.
And like the community really like backed our athletics. Like there was always a good amount of people at all of our games, and you would know like all the donors of the town. So I can understand your aspect, but then also yours, because it's like I knew everybody in my class. Like I knew their name and I knew what group they were, like kind of like associated with, like if they did band, they did FFA or whatever. Mm-hmm. But like I knew everybody's name. So when graduation came, I was like, oh yeah, sure. But like I never had that where I was like, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
Right.
That was a third of the people who walked across the
I knew
stage.
their name, but I didn't know who they were necessarily.
So that leads me into a next question I wanted to ask. What was relationships either at the school, parties, or whatever you want to call it, with underclassmen, upperclassmen at a really big school, medium school,
Interesting.
and a really small school?
Okay.
So I'll go first, like small school. There was like the separation, but not really. Like when it's that small of a town, and the deal I was talking before where everybody knows everybody's deal, everybody knows who's dating who, when they broke
Right.
up, how people did on
Your
grades,
social security number.
like literally everything. Everybody hears. So there wasn't ever really where you felt like there was separation between like a hard wall in between freshmen, sophomores, junior, senior. Whereas when I go to Evergreen, there's a very hard separation between underclassmen and upperclassmen.
Yep.
Like we hardly interacted with each other at all.
That's what it was like where I was. There was no...
That's crazy.
There really was no mingling between the classes. I mean, you kind of stayed true to who you knew, your age, your class. I mean, the mingling that went on happened in athletics. If you played up or whatnot, that's where it happened, and that's where you knew people.
But you didn't know like regular students and underclassmen.
So when I was older, like a upperclassman, besides athletics, no. Not
Like
a
you
chance.
wouldn't know people in the choir or band
Not a
or
chance.
maybe in the
I didn't know people in my own choir in my grade.
Yeah.
Because it was that big. So no, not a prayer.
What about you?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but like, say like I'm a senior, like we knew everybody in the class right underneath us. Like there was very few people that we didn't know. And then it like kind of gradually drifted away. Like I would know a select group in like the sophomore class when I was like a senior, didn't really know like any of the freshmen. But like we would hang out with basically the class under us or the class above us. Like that's like everybody knew each other within like a 3-year group. So like say I'm a junior, I know all the sophomores and I know all the seniors.
Yep.
But like once you get over that like 2-year gap, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to be a senior, you're 18 and then you're like, oh, who's this 15-year-old like that I've seen for 2 months? Like we never shared the same school until now because middle school is obviously 6th, 7th, and 8th. So it's like they would have been in like 5th grade when I was in 8th grade. So you don't really get that continuity. But like, yeah, I would say we knew a lot of people in like the younger and older class, so like right above and below us.
Which would you guys prefer? Like, do you kind of like I kind of like just having my own class, people my age, and that's all I really interact with? Or do you kind of wish you had more of a younger influence and younger people in your circle?
You kind of have your class bond, obviously. Like those are the first friends you ever met.
That's who you grew up with.
Yeah. But I don't care.
No.
Like, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to hang out with somebody like 3-4 years younger than me. But like, if you're a year younger than me, like Sam's a year younger than me. And we've been best friends since, like 2012 or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's like, they're still your friend. Like, they're still a person. Like, I'm not gonna care. Oh shit, you're a class under me, I can't be your friend. Like, no, like that's just not how our school worked. Like, there was a lot of continuity between classes, and
Yep. And that's something, that's something we didn't have.
Yeah, and athletics was a huge part of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
I was going to say at a high school, I think athletics can tie in more. Like you kind of said, freshmen, sophomores that play up and are just in the almost get accepted in because they're playing with the older and upperclassmen.
Yes.
And a lot of times, like at Evergreen, the better like freshmen, sophomores would get accepted in, and then they would have nothing to do
with their
younger classmen, and there would be a gap.
I'm with the cool guys.
And then when it got weird for those people, because one of the guys who on our football team was a freshman, he was really good, and he played up. All he ever did was hang out with us upperclassmen and totally deserted his class. Well, when we graduated, and now it was time he was an upperclassman, and now his upperclassmen friends want nothing to do with him.
Sure.
Yeah,
like,
well,
you're not gonna just jump on board.
That's such a tough position for him, because it's like, okay, I'm spending all this time at practice with these guys. We're a team. We're trying to build continuity.
I get it, yeah.
And then, okay, like they phase out, and then you go back to hanging out with the friends your age. I mean, that's just kind of how it works.
Right. It is a tough.
You just don't want to big league each other.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't see them, and then kind of just don't get invited to things, because it's like, okay, the team's gonna do this.
Totally.
I get it. Last question on this topic that we'll end with, and then we'll do our closing thoughts. So at small towns like prom, winter dance, homecoming is massive. Like massive deal. At Evergreen, it kind of was, but honestly not really. Like it wasn't. It was more of a deal where you go to whatever the deal is for. Like I remember homecoming, we would go to the like formal stuff, the intros, maybe go to the dance for a half an hour, and then it was house parties. Evergreen was almost more like college. How college is here, that's what my Evergreen High School was more like. So what was like prom, homecoming, that type of stuff at a massive school?
Sure. So it's still a big deal. It's still something that was looked forward to by a lot of people, but you have to remember that because the numbers are so big,
was it separated?
There was a lot of people who never went to dances. I didn't really go to dances until I was an upperclassman.
Where do they hold a dance that has a school with 800? I mean, as many people as you.
We're banking at maybe half going.
We had a common area that was, trust me, it was a big enough.
I mean, it had to be just.
It's a big enough school, yeah. But yeah, it was still a big deal, prom and stuff. I mean, but then again, there's a lot of.
So
people
my
that
head's
never
going
went.
to for our winter dance at Tracy, homecoming, royalty, all that. There's no way, like at Tracy, we do intros for every couple. There's no way you can do that at your school. So there's no way
Not a prayer.
Yeah.
No.
You'd be there.
No.
That's funny.
For eternity.
No, we have different locations.
Wait. What were the rules or restrictions for your prom? Like
ours?
If yours are if you're in high school, you can go
Tracy,
to prom.
they lock them in. Once you're there, they make you stay there.
No. I'm just saying age group. Is it freshmen through seniors? Like the whole high school goes to prom?
No, it's upperclassmen.
Juniors and seniors?
Unless you get asked by an upperclassman, then an underclassman can go.
Yeah.
Evergreen, it was fair game. Freshman through senior.
Dang, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, for our Grand March, they had every couple got announced. You'd walk up onto the stage this, whatever, all the lights, pictures. There's a whole bunch of people in the stands, and then, walk down. Then you walk left so everybody can see you. You stop there, take pictures. Then you keep going up, and then you come all the way back around and take the pictures or whatever. But I don't know. Prom, I thought it was kind of overrated. Honestly,
yeah, I agree.
I mean,
Did you guys have So what was the big prom, homecoming night? So what would you guys do then?
Okay, so we would get together a group of probably maybe 10 couples at the most, And then we'd go out to eat for a restaurant. And then like senior year, we had like a limo that took us out to somebody's house for pictures, then to a restaurant, and then out to the Swift Health Center. That's where we would host it. And then it would kind of just take us back to the high school for like all like the after party actually we would have hypnotist, which was like, okay, this guy's full of shit, whatever, let's go. Let's get a flask, maybe toss a few drinks back, and then you go to the dance or whatever for a few hours. But I mean, it sucked because grinding,
right,
giving the lady a little ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
And then it just gets banned, so everybody's standing there like, and like the dance isn't fun, so we're like, all right, well, let's just wait for the after party.
What about you, Andy?
Similar stuff. We did dinner, we did pictures, but you have to remember that we had all these different. You went in groups and different locations, and
That's
you did
what
different pictures, and you did all that stuff. But it was fun. I had fun. My date was great. It was a lot of fun. It's a good memory. But Jared has a point when he says, it's kind of overrated.
It's not what you see on TV
agree.
and movies. I was like, after the first year, I was
overrated.
like, all right, like I've had enough. Like, I don't plan to go my senior year. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like doing all the pictures. I don't like.
I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did it.
Well, my mom had my neck. She was like, you are going.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If anything, I want the
'Cause
pictures.
she wants those pictures. She wants
the memories.
She wants those memories
She
to
wants
hold
to make
on
the
to
scrapbook,
when
and
you
then
grow up.
I'll appreciate it. Like I'm
Absolutely.
glad I still went, but it's like I didn't feel the need that I wanted to go. Like I wasn't like, oh yeah, baby, I'm excited for prom.
I was the same way.
I'm like,
you know me. I was
I was
same
kind
way.
of excited to go.
yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I like
Soft
I,
and Charmin, boy.
I like the spotlight. I like getting
Well,
dressed up in the event and the whole deal.
No,
and
yeah.
I like dancing. So
Yeah. There's always
lot of people
drama
don't
that
actually
comes
like
with it
dancing.
too.
There
And
is,
I'm
of
like,
course.
check me out. I can't stand drama. Like
You guys
grow
do,
up. Grow up.
Party bus? Do you party bus?
No,
Just
I
once,
drove my
once
own.
we were 21.
I drove my own personal car every time.
Oh, we did
Just with my
we did a
date.
party bus my senior year, and
That'd be
if
fun.
you guys know me, what do you think that was like for me?
Horrible.
Oh my goodness!
You're sitting in
If
the
there's
back
anybody
corner.
watching this, yeah, you know it's just not my thing.
Yeah,
It's-
I know.
The music, like, how am I supposed to dance to
On a crammed bus.
Travis Scott? And like, what am I supposed to do? And a crammed bus. It's 100 degrees.
Yes.
Like,
You're drenched.
not-
You're pissed.
I never really have been a heavy,
Yeah.
drinker or anything. So
Yeah. Well, okay, so to finish up, so if you guys just had to say, we'll go small, middle, big school. If you could do it again, what would you rather be at a small, middle, or big school?
I'd like to try big because
Big?
I had like basically experience of big, medium, and kind of small. So
Okay.
like I'd like to do like a big school,
big.
kind of see like what 1,000 people are like. Some big school out in Cali. That would be
Yeah.
kind of interesting to do for like a semester. I don't think I'd like it full time, but like
Sure.
back in the day, back
yeah,
when I
I
was
think you'd. Yeah.
18, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Better
Yeah.
competition, better athletics too.
I would have liked something middle of the ground, not too
Little,
small,
little smaller.
not too small. Definitely not too small, but close
Brookings.
to 900 kids. It was quite a bit. It's quite a bit. You get swallowed up a little bit sometimes. So
Yeah.
something more middle of the ground.
I would have stuck with small town.
Yep.
I love everything about small town feel, small town sports, small
Yeah.
town charisma, just all that. Love it. So, all right, we'll end with closing thoughts for the day. Jared, you want to lead us off?
Who do you got first?
You got a closing thoughts for us?
I don't really have much closing thoughts other than I hate school.
I was
I
gonna
hate
say,
school.
Second
I
that.
thought you were
With
gonna
a
jump
flaming
all over
passion.
the
I mean,
explosion.
when I
wanna
get home
have.
from work, the last thing I want to do is do a 4-page assignment, and it's every week.
It'll be over
and it
soon.
just my blood boils.
Limp
I just
into the
want
finish
to
line.
just unleash rage, and it's just
We need Brady's.
I just can't.
I
do
bet
it.
you wish Brady's heavy bag was back in the garage and just go to town on that for a little bit.
Dude, I want to be like Paul Bunyan. I just want to axe some trees down right now. Like, I bet I could do it in like 4 swings without like violently mad at
Love
you.
it.
But yes, school is not worth it. Don't get your MBA. It sucks.
Andy,
okay.
yeah, that was a hot take there.
Yeah.
That was a hot take. Andy, what do you got?
Closing thoughts here. Let's see.
I wish I would have been a plumber.
Get outside, people. Enjoy the weather. Winter is coming.
Yes, it is.
Went on a bike ride. Bo's been taking up bike riding a little bit as
Love it. Love it. I need a cushion seat.
I'd encourage people, take walks, do a bike ride.
Absolutely.
That snow is coming.
Quick. For me, don't stare at people. Learn to not just blatantly stare at people. We went golfing today, and this guy legitly...
Brutal.
How long?
Pull up the car, and as soon as we pull up, I go, man, this guy's really looking us down.
And
I'm fixing the water
And I mean
bottle.
people.
Yeah.
I don't mean like the, they look and then kind of look, staring
We're taking turns.
into your soul,
Yeah.
staring at you. Then it got to the point where the cart was driving away. The cart's going that way. We're this way.
He's looking.
He
6
is like
o'clock.
this.
Yeah.
Still looking at us.
Yeah.
And I mean, I looked at you and I said, "Jesus, like, what do we?"
A little bit of that small townness going on. Hey, do I know these people
Yeah,
pulling up here?
I
I
think-
don't recognize these people. Who are
Maybe
these
that
people
maybe
coming
that
in?
is what it is. But parents, do better. Teach your kids. Don't stare.
Point, don't stare.
Point. Don't stare. Don't say Yeah, just you need to be better. Let's work on the whole staring thing because it's bad, people. But yeah, that's my closing thoughts. Once again, you guys, we appreciate all the support we're getting. Keep liking, subscribe to the video, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.
See you, nerds.